Hello everyone, my name is Jerry. As you can see, I got myself some new blackout curtains, so hopefully the whole lighting issue will be sorted. Today I'm going to build something from Lord of the Rings, something I've always wanted to build, something that's been in my mind since I started the channel but I haven't got a clue how to do it. I'm going to build Gandalf's staff, so let's get into it. Right, so the plan is for the staff, I'm going to try and build an orb and then build some kind of branches around it for the top part. I have a torch. Let's see a torch come up on that, yeah. I have two torches here, right? They're about the same torch, but one I taped up so if you, obviously it zooms in and out like, and I taped up this bit just to see if I can get more light out of it. I'll see which one is best when I come to that, right? Then I have this coupler. So the idea is that the torch is going to go into this coupler. I'm going to wrap the ends of it with foam and things like that, like, just to make it a bit more snug, a bit tighter in here, like. And the coupler is going to go. I'm going to build the orb out of LED foam like this. Already made a little pattern there. And I'm going to put that around there, and then I might fill it the orb with a diffuser, maybe wrap it with a bit more strips of this just to give it a bit more definition. And then I'm going to wrap the whole lot of this with foam, but I'm not going to like glue this into the staff because I want to be able to take this off and on and off to change the batteries. So first things first is I'm going to get this done, and I just made this random pattern. I made it with oh yeah, that's how I made it. I made the pattern out of an avocado. I nicked an avocado out of the kitchen, wrapped it with tin foil and duct tape, made the pattern, and then put the avocado back in it. There you go. It's amazing what you can make patterns out of these days. I'm excited for this one. Love Lord of the Rings. So I am really excited for this one. This is going to be a deadly one. Well, we hope so. I hope it works out. It's the orb and the lighting up bit at the front that's the hard part. The actual staff thing itself shouldn't be too bad. It's just a matter of getting the pole out, or the PVC pipe pole, and wrapping it with scrap bits of foam and sanding it down. I have this foam dowel. I might cut bits off that and then split it down the middle, and then put that over the staff part, or the orb part. If now to give it like kind of the branch look. Like if you're having trouble getting the glue into the little gaps in here, fold it over, two of them together, put the glue on like that. Spread it out and you get it right in there in the gap. No problemo. I'm just pinching up the edges. I'm going that way, buddy. Pinching up the dart first. And then keep it all together. And then the torch will shine through. You'll see when I get there. Yeah, it'll make sense. It makes sense to me now. It makes sense to you when it happens. And I think this is the staff, because he's two different staffs in the films. One from the Lord of the Rings and one from the Hobbit. And the one from the Lord of the Rings is slightly different. But the one from the Hobbit is, I think, the one that Radagast gave it. So that's the one I'm doing. It's in my head. I probably should do the one from Lord of the Rings because it's the films I like better. But I have this one in my head since I decided I wanted to make it. I have this thing stuck in my head to do it this way, and that's the way I'm going to do it. Yeah. That's alright for an avocado. The staff part is supposed to be 74 inches long. Well, that's including the orb part at the top. So I'm going to measure this up including these two bits. Chop that off. I don't know if it's in inches, it's whatever it is in centimeters, we'll work it out. Chop that bit off, and then I will subtract that from the part, the PVC. I'll subtract that from this PVC pipe, and that'll be what's left. Like, the idea is coupler, bit on the end, shine. I don't know how good that's going up. Bing! I have an idea! Okay, right, I think I'm going to go with that one. I'm thinking if I just glue a few small tabs on like that, yeah. And then when I put this in, I can put the glue on here and on the edges. Right, let's do that. I'll give that a bit of time to dry. Post mix is usually quick anyway, but sure, we'll give it a bit to dry, won't we? It'll give me a chance to try and split the dowel down the middle again. I'm making a mess already. Woohoo! Let's see if I can. It doesn't need to be very accurate. Like, I don't need it to be perfectly split down the middle. And I could have bought half dowels already. So why buy more stuff when you don't need to? And then this will go over the coupler, and I can wrap it around in a kind of a. I was going to just do that, but I think it needs to go like this because of the look of it, and I give it more structure. Yeah, that's that done. Wish me luck. I'm going to glue this on now, and I'm not worried. It doesn't need to be accurate because it's all going to be covered up. That should stay on now. Never gonna give you up. No, that might go in the bloopers. You know what I'll do? I have little coffee store sticks or lollipops that I can just like super glue in here in the gap, and then that way when I can just fold it up like that. I'm almost sure I have one in hand. Now that's it there. It's a little lollipop stick. And I'll just maybe if I just glue that in there. And then it's not going to be very secure because there's nothing really to secure it onto at the end. This is definitely, I'm starting off with the hardest part. Because the wood bit, it's not hard, the wood bit. It's just laborious, time consuming. It's going to take a while. Rub all the contact cement off my fingers. And then the first thing I do is pick up the thing when it's not bloody dry. Put that on there when it's there now. Add a bit more rigidity to it. Then chop it. No wait, I won't chop that off yet. I was gonna chop it off, but it might be good for when I, excuse me, put the thing on. The thing on. The thing on. That makes sense, doesn't it? Ting. And this back bit is definitely a bit bare, so I'll do what Odin does when he's trying to fit pipes together and dowels that don't fit. Wrap it with tape. Not a few layers of tape won't sort out. I feel like putting on one dowel isn't enough. There's another bit hanging out at the side. that is, so if I'm looking at it like that, and this bit would go like that. Oof! And if I just glue that bit on like that. Yeah, I think I'll do this last bit and then leave it. I'm happy with the progress so far, so why not? I'm so happy with the way this is working out so far. I mean, it's definitely not going to be screen accurate or nothing close to it. Hope that comes up on the camera. But it'll be good enough for me. It'll make me happy. And hopefully it'll make some of you happy. But that's all that really matters, isn't it? Again and again, I'm not cutting off the excess there. I'm just going to leave it. It'll wrap around the staff part of it. And if I wrap it around the staff part, because I want to be able to attach it, of course I do, like. But if I wrap this around the staff part, like, to make it look like it's more kind of roots and tree kind of branches, kind of almost like. If I do it like that, and then I cut straight through, so I can pull it apart, if you know what I mean. I did a tester just off camera with the foam clay. That's it there. Like, this foam clay has seen better days. I had to take it out of the bag and do a bit of kneading, like a bit of bread. But this is basically foam clay. Big lump of clay. I have more here. I don't think I'll need to use that. It was in a bag, but it wasn't sitting well right in the bag. And the premise of the foam clay is you keep it wet, keep your tools wet, keep the thing you're sticking to wet, and the foam clay, and you can pull it off. You're better off kneading it a bit and stretching it, because it'll get rid of the bubbles then. And then roll a bit up. And let's start out here. And just put a big slop of water on it. And you can keep your fingers wet as well. And the water will, because it's air drying clay, the water kind of, when the water evaporates, the clay kind of shrinks, if you know what I mean, and sticks to the other foam. You don't need glue, you don't need anything like that, just a bit of water. And I'm just going on this thing. I'm going to put big blobs on first, stretch it, and it needs a good 24 hours to I just want to say to heal. 24 hours to dry. This can't really be too wet. Just keep slapping it on. And my idea is to just keep going around in a circle in one way. If you get somewhere that you think is too out of control, you can just get your little tools, push things into place. And as I said, keep your tools wet as well, that's why it's in the water there. And this sort of clay paints very, very well as well. It sticks great to other clay, and it sticks great to normal EVA foam. I just don't know. And I'm sure it would stick to it. The LED foam. I'm just going to try and no, I'm no master sculptor by any means, but I'll show you something I did now in a minute. Same technique, made it a couple of years ago, and it worked out great. I was really happy with it. So what I made before, the same technique, apart from throwing stuff on the floor, was the Necronomicon. Show you a new part of the camera, see it there? And I printed out the pages off a website, and I dirtied them up with foam and burned some of them, and website pages were free. I'm missing one or two of them. And it's just a cardboard box covered in foam clay, and once it hardens, it's like rock. It really is once it hardens, and I'm very happy with that. There's another thing I'll be keeping and won't get rid of. It's not really looking quite good. I thought I was going to be at this for hours, but it mightn't be too bad. When I have all the big bits done, I'm going to do loads of small little bits. And then when that's dry, and I'm putting the pipe on, I can do it to the half bottom bit. The pipe's not going to be as hard as I thought it would be. See, I wouldn't do the Soul Calibur sword, Soul Blade, Soul Calibur, and he used like 2 or 3 tubs of this foam clay stuff, but it turned out brilliant. Like the level of detail you can do with this sort of stuff is unreal. Seems like almost counterintuitive to be putting water onto foam. Generally water, the foam will just soak it up like a sponge, but in essence that's exactly what this is doing. It'll soak it up and then air dry and shrink. It won't be half as bad. Let's see if she still lights up. Need to find a place for it to dry, so I'm going to put it over here just behind the camera, let it dry. This is PVC pipe. I have a cut. It's supposed to be 72 inches long. That's a little bit of it. But I chopped, so I measured the top part, chopped that off of it. So what I need to do is sand it and glue a small bit of foam to it, and then I'm going to glue more scrap bits of foam on top of that. But for now, I'm just going to sand it, the outside of it as best I can, just a little bit, so that the foam will stick to it. Let's see if I can put it on the table. Yeah. Right, so this is 2mm instead of 5mm, which will give it less thickness. And I'm just going to wrap it around it. I didn't put this on correctly. Oh well. That's it. I'm not overly worried. It'll all lend itself to the organicness of it all. Once there wasn't enough glue there. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Get me knife. Cut off the excess. I'm not worried about these gaps here, because when you put your scraps on, it's going to cover all of that stuff. I just want the foam on it, something better for the other scraps to grip onto, so to speak. And then if I'm wrapping bits of scraps and there's gaps in between them, I won't be worried that it's pipe and not foam. You know what I mean? If it's foam, it'll be fine. Maybe that was the other way, meant to be the other way around. I don't know. A lot of the time I don't even know what I'm talking about. I want to work on it. So this is going to be the top where the thing goes in. See, it's a bit loose. So we want to put a bit of 3mm. Happy days. Before I glue this one on, I'll do a tester. So maybe if I just do Odin's trick of the tape, if this works, it'll be forever known as Odin's tape trick. It'll probably work, but it might not hold forever. Oh yeah, perfect. It'll come out. So let me put that on the camera, see if you can see it a bit. So I'll put a few rolls of tape around it. And see that there. Pressure fit in. It's a good pressure as well, right? And then that'll go on my thingy. We'll go on top. There's a gap in the middle. So what I plan to do is drill a hole here and then cut out so I can slide this down and then glue on me switch thing, and that'll fit on that. And last test. It fits. Right. That's it dry. Oh, the camera there. Never mind this. This is me scraps for the next part. It's dried quite well. A bit spongy in certain parts, but that won't be too bad when it's painted and sanded and whatnot. So pipe. Where's me pipe? Can I put it somewhere? Yeah, there we go. What I'm planning on doing today is this bit here where where this goes, right? It goes all the way down here, right? That's going to be where the torch is. But the plan then is to have, like, say, just the yoke there sitting over it, and then a bit of foam going over here, but not glue that foam down, and then so I can just use the depression on that. And I'm going to do that first with a bit of the thinnest foam I can find, and I'll just put it over there like that. And then the plan will be to just draw like a circle on here, right? And then I'm going to carve that bit in so I know that that's where the button is. Just going to glue random bits on. I'm not even going to cut them. If I have to cut them I will, but the plan is to not cut them. I only used it yesterday. Oh, you swine. I got it. Oh, that's no fun. It's just going to be as random as I can make it. I don't want it to overlap too much, so I may very well cut off bits. That it can go in there. Like right now it looks ridiculous, but I'm obviously going to like, it's not going to be that bad when it's Dremel down and all, you know. This is a great way of using up your scrap foam, for sure. Like, instead of throwing out your scrap foam, use it, put it on something, you know. I didn't throw it out. Make sure I put in a cat toy. There's a bit of a cat toy. I'm going to slap that on the end of it and then just Dremel around it. I would be raging if I didn't put that on there. There's a lot of quietness. I'm normally bullshitting to the camera by now, but I'm just trying to make sure I get this stuff on as best I can. Right, here she is. Do a little, little cat toy at the end. I'm going to start sanding it now. I'm going to film the majority of this off camera because it's going to take me so long. So I'm just going to film bits and bobs here and there, give you updates as I go, and condense it down to a couple of minutes. But it's probably going to take me an hour or more, I'd say. And I don't even think I have an hour's battery left. So let's get into it. Holy shit. It broke and it was about an inch away from my head. I don't know if you saw that. That was scary. Right, let's try that again without having your eyes chopped off. I don't know whether you can see that there or not, but that's what I'm going for. Sanding it down and putting some kind of wood grain on it. It's going to take forever. My hands are already covered. But keep going. It's back from sanding. I'll show it on the camera there. So this is all healed up. There's the button, right? And I don't know if you can see all that, but I put wood grain on it. I sanded it down. Tried to make it look like a big stick as much as I can. I'm not going to seal it. I'm just going to paint directly on it. Because I figure it's white. The brown, I already did a test on it there. And the brown seems to be working great. Let me fix my camera. So what I want to do is I want to water it down as much as I can. I'm going to use this big mop brush to mop around loads of it. I hope that works. It may not work, but we'll give it a go. Right, so this seems to have dried. So I'm going to go ahead with the black wash now and get this out of the way. It's in my way. I think I might have put too much black on it. Look, we've loads to do, don't we? And then what you do is you mix up mix it up as best you can. Like I do 50% water. I do 50% water and 50% paint. You can do a different ratio or whatever. Put your mop brush in. And just spread it all over. You get your towel, it can be wet, slightly damp and dry, and then just keep wiping. Get the majority of the paint off. Some of it will pool in between the cracks and the recesses. Now look how good that looks compared to the other side of just plain brown. Look, you're looking at plain brown, Gerry-Can aged. Right, it's done. I'm very happy with this. It won't come across on camera. I can't fit it all in. Let me see. Get the old torch going. It's brilliant. I'm really happy with it. It turned out great. I'd probably do a few different things with it if I did it again. Like it's a bit wobbly, the pipe is wobbly, and I put maybe a dowel in it to stop making it so wobbly. This is probably a little bit too big. Detail wise, very happy with it. The wood grain, the little bits of, you know, gaps, the colour, the paint, even the vines at the top, I am very happy with it. Top part comes off, easy enough. Does it go back on? It does. And it lines up, just so we can change the batteries. Now let me check something else out. Maybe you can see the light a little bit better. Might change the battery or the torch at some sides. It's not very bright. I also need to put a diffuser maybe on the inside of it. So if I put a diffuser on the inside, like maybe cotton wool or some crumpled up plastic or something, it'll dissipate the light a bit more and it'll look better. But I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this. I'd like to give a shout out to a friend of mine. His name is Schultz. He's from Denmark. He's an avid follower of the channel. He supported me since day one. So Schultz, thank you very much. And I'm glad you like the content. Anyway, that's it. If If you liked the video, give me a like, give me a subscribe. If there's anything you think I can build or I should build, slap it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Good luck. That scared the life out of me!